What's going on, y'all? It's JD Pickell. Today on the Hard Count, we're going to talk about Bryan Harsin at Auburn and if his seat is getting a little bit hotter. Welcome into the Hard Count, the People's Show for every single thing that you know and that you love about college football. It happens here on a daily basis. Nick Brake does heavy lifting. You can help drive the show by subscribing to the channel. A quick PSA, we are going live as can be tonight at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. So come on back here after you watch this video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I would encourage you to do so, but we will be live recapping everything that happened yesterday during our college football Saturday. So one thing that happened yesterday, it's unfortunate for Auburn fans, Penn State came to Jordan-Hare and absolutely took it to the Auburn Tigers. Final score was 41-12, and Penn State really just had their way. We're not going to recap the game right now, but what I think we need to look at from this game is Bryan Harsin and the heat in relation to his seat. No rhyme intended there, but that's just the facts of the matter. After a loss like that in that fashion at home, with everything that's already been swirling around the program, been swirling around his job within the program, I should say, it's cause for concern. It's even more, at the very least, cause for conversation. Because to catch you up, unless you've been living under a rock, Bryan Harsin was, what's the best way to say this? To put it delicately, they tried to get him fired. The powers that be tried to get Bryan Harsin out of office at Auburn. I'm not going to go too deep into the details of that. Maybe another conversation for another time. So with that being said, he's already kind of skating on thin ice here. He's kind of already not necessarily standing on the firmest footing. And then to have a team like Penn State come into your home stadium and beat you in the fashion that they did doesn't look good. First and foremost, Penn State blew them off the ball. Auburn's supposed to be this SEC team and have some of these tough guys in the trenches and have that front seven be stable. That's sort of the branding, if you will, surrounding any SEC program. But that wasn't there in any way, shape, or form for Auburn. And when you get run on in the fashion that they did, you look back to the coaching staff and say, okay, your team's supposed to take on your attitude. And your attitude was, we get punched in the mouth, and we just continue to get punched in the mouth. I don't know if this is all encompassing of what is real at Auburn, but yesterday, fans are upset about it. Fans are upset getting beat in the fashion that they did. On top of that, Auburn looked really sloppy. And this is, I think, the thing that I'm honing in the most on from yesterday. Auburn operationally and during the play just looked like they were out of sorts. We saw it at times against San Jose State a week ago, but to see it rear its ugly head against Penn State and make Penn State pay for them multiple times, it's a tough look. 4 turnovers, a myriad of penalties. There was a lot that was just unsettling. Stuff that isn't just showing up for the first time against Penn State. Happened in other games. Before that, though, I promise you, it's happening behind closed doors in practice at Auburn. And so you're looking at this coaching staff, you're looking at the guy who's running the program at Bryan Harsin saying, hey, man, this isn't necessarily stuff that you have to be elite at. You don't have to be an elite program to be able to get lined up. You don't have to be an elite program to take care of the football. And we're not doing either of those things exceptionally well right now. We don't look like a football team that has a ton of direction. We don't have a ton of togetherness about ourselves right now in our operation. I'm not saying in-house or within that locker room they're not together. I'm not talking about the chemistry. I'm talking about what they put on the field yesterday. In a word, looked sloppy. It's looked sloppy before in other games. I guarantee you it looked sloppy in practice. And certain somebody, Bryan Harsin, is going to be held responsible for this going forward. Now, I want to take a step back because I have been a Bryan Harsin supporter for a long time now. I think he's made of the right stuff, and I'll go on record saying this. Bryan Harsin, as of right now, is running a football team with guys that he did not necessarily recruit. Not to say some of the guys aren't his players, but when you're a coach in your second year, it takes some time to get some recruiting classes in the program that you can play with. That's not to say they don't have good players at Auburn, but Bryan Harsin is essentially using borrowed tools right now at Auburn. And that's the fact of the matter. So in most circumstances, in most programs, you get more than 2 years. At Auburn, they were already looking for a reason to get him out the door. This game and the performance in this game, the foot that they put forward in this game, isn't going to help him. So you would have to imagine that seat is just getting a little bit warmer. And it doesn't get easier. You have Penn State. Guess what? You still have to play Arkansas. You still have to play Georgia. You still have to play Alabama. The road doesn't get easier from here on out for Auburn. And so they got to figure it out and figure it out quick in order to allow Bryan Harsin a little bit more of a cooler seat. We root for him here on the hard count. We pull for him. We hope he does great things at Auburn and gets that program headed in the right direction. But to show up and perform the way they did, maybe a better word is perform the way they didn't, it's concerning. And like I said, the seat for Bryan Harsin is a few degrees warmer after yesterday's performance. That's it for us here on the hard count. We appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JDPakeltasave with every single thing that we're doing here. Again, we are live as live gets tonight at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. So we will see y'all then. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of the hard count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.